Hello everyone, this is AV Merch, and in this video I'm going to present to you one more project that I have created back in times about 4 or 5 years ago from in respect to today. Today is January, February 2026. And this is a really interesting project, something also different. I like to present different stuff, but now I'm focused to presenting all the projects, main projects that I think worth to present on my channel. And in this case, I will not be going super deeply. I think I don't need to spend so much time on every project. You can explore more of stuff that I have created, especially recently just did a dark matter that covers a lot of depth. Feel free to check it out. But now it's wild. I gotta just run around and show you some interesting stuff. For example, here is a result, static result of the design of the website. And it's basically to inform its landing page mainly because again, startup. And you can see it's a static. Now you can see also, I will tell you that logotype is created by me. The style direction is also created by me. This kind of splash idea also is part of the branding identity element, as well as this roam kind of indicator. The idea of this project is kind of digital card game that is tied to the Amazon's region, and I'll be showing you a little bit here. Actually, in fact, as we speak, let me go right away into the Webflow a coded thing and just run for the whole thing and present to you, and then they will kind of walk around and give you some insight into every part. And this one will not be having kind of a sequential presentation. Also, before I do that, also let me do one more thing. I have this about 5 minutes portfolio presentation of my websites in my new look and feel, and here I have this. And check this out, really interesting, really immersive, really with good music. Presentation of my works in a kind of gallery way. And here I will just gonna play it. This is the wild game for good. This is the presentation of the website. So you enter into this and just gonna scroll through. You can see we'll go to the mobile device. I like to present that. It's really important, indicating that it's responsive. So you can see on both on desktop and mobile device, the presentation of the work. Well done. You can also see I'm using for the background blur effect color, similar gradient. Let me see if quality is right. So yeah, so that was a short presentation. I'll be running through that one. Now, it was interesting to build. Now, first of all, it's always, sometimes we build different things. Here's bold and artistic touch, as well as digital approach. I would like to do something new. Sometimes back in times I played with this hover over depth effect, and when you hover over the element, it gives this kind of 3D sense of depth and also glow effect. It was interesting to build. This is something I learned all over this project back in times 5 years ago, so that was really clever. So the idea to show kind of immersive and pleasant experience of these cards that you can actually purchase and play with them, the game, and they have categorization, color selection. Now, you can support us or join our Discord, and you can see some elements like roam. All these elements are created by me, and the idea of the depth of shininess with respect to the gaming, digital gaming of cards. And you can see, like as I showed here, for example, it's a static version in here on a Figma, and then I take it and build it in Webflow, and you can see the differentiation. For example, here was the idea to show the depth of difference. Again, decision makers, client, they had the process of thinking about game dynamics here and there. Sometimes the changes were made, which is not really convenient, but that happens sometimes. So anyways, coming soon, so you can see also this interesting effect of kind of hover over, and you can see the titling appears and depth, play with depth. So this project allowed me to play with depth and some kind of glowy effect and sense of artistic digital approach. Really interesting, I enjoyed this project. So here, for example, this is the final version. So you can see sometimes I must say that assets, art, really depending. I must say I often meet the situations with my clients when I create their results, but their assets, their art, their photography, their 3D must keep up with the same degree of work that I do. And it's commonly happens that it can be challenging, most likely due to the budget or lack of time. So here, for example, it's a good selection of photography, and you can see the idea was that every color kind of category had a strength to play. So you can purchase, and you can see the moon parts indicates the strength of it. You can see that ruby, for example, is the most kind of weak, and so on. For example, in design, the idea was so to go only with 4, and there was a different approach with the roam kind of decision. So let's see. Just going to cancel all of them. And then we have a game dynamic. So the idea is that you have the tablet and you can connect with your phone. So you can see glow effect that they built, and quite interesting, with the responsiveness. For example, it's quite a process to make sure it's correct presented. But it's really interesting that you can actually play these cards from the phone on the tablet, connecting and just battling each other with a card game. The idea is, as I mentioned, is to connect these cards that you purchase to support the Amazon and Land kind of purchase. I'm not sure how they came up with this idea, how they're going to connect it, but that's okay. So the idea is also to just give some kind of depth here. So I'm indicating that. Also here, just a little bit indications of different categories, different animals, different stuff. Some interaction here. Support and FAQs also, simple. And this is also good with the roadmap, really interesting. You can see how you can just hover over and click, and the bullet points indicating. I gave some good love to this project. It was really interesting to build, I must say. In 2025, you can shift between them like that. That's quite interesting, to build. Support, follow your progress, then here, and then we have this team, meet our founder team. Then everyone had to choose their card of the animal, and this is these two only were in the beginning. And you see the effect, the background, how it reveals, so to say. So that was the landing page for this project. I did the logo, I did the branding, the style direction, and the whole website design and code that I just presented to you. And here, let me see if there's any difference. Not really much difference. Just photography selection was maybe a little bit better than that. But overall, it's really, really good. Now, what else I can actually indicate? Of course, I will not go in other previous projects. You can see that I always present how I go about sitemaps, wireframes. It can be a quick process. It's just I like to do that. It's really important because we need to agree on the content and the strategy and navigation. So the client approves, and then we apply onto the skeleton, the visuals. It's always important element. Now, some logo versions, but let me see what else is important. So eventually we continue also. You can see how game-like you can present the style, again, developing for the social media. Some cards presentation, how it can look like, right? The card game kind of approach, and different style, look and feel with iconography. Also for social media, we did had some kind of social media for Instagram. I gave this start for them as a template, so showing some kind of style communication, really interesting, actually educational and gamified. You can see even style develops into this kind of approach, really beautiful. Part 2, and really, really clever. It's really interesting. I must say that, again, I like to say that it's important to work with the same person as myself to continue that consistency, and you can come up with really great social media assets as a template, even, and assets continuously to support, to stay on brand, to look professional and trustworthy, to win in the market. Kind of ideas for the covers. It was really beautiful. Again, would be amazing if they could make photography, their own photography, of course. But these are really beautiful way of presenting, kind of categorization. Again, this project could evolve better, it could be successful. This is also one of the projects that didn't saw light, unfortunately. Idea is amazing. The website could evolve into something more better categorized structure, and you could see that we could address every part, maybe even kind of printing books or cards, selections, collection, account. User can have their own account, they can buy and so on. A lot of interesting stuff can be created or presented. And then eventually was also a really interesting idea for the future. The idea was to create even a video game, and I created on request. I created for this client the mood board for the idea of characters, of landscape, and so on. It was really interesting to do this creative approach. It was very interesting lore, I must say, the whole game, but it's too much. Again, this was kind of thinking ahead, but they needed to. It's good to have that, but first, of course, they needed to somehow go to market and test the idea, the product. Another thing also, they had to create kind of courses. So I created the document, also deck, that kind of sells the courses and presenting the whole idea. Really clever. Also, really good idea to bring people together and to work on these things. Really beautiful stuff I have created here. It's really impressive. Sometimes, time passes like 4 years, 5 years. You look back and you think, wow, this is exciting. This is really exciting to see how things are done. You can see how style evolves, develops, courses. Really beautiful color selection, background. Wow, I'm impressed sometimes with what I create, but yeah, something to look back into. What else? Again, social media. I already tested that. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I can present. Really clever. This is one short one. Beautiful stuff. Impressive. Again, I would love to see this realistic in the future, being really successful. But again, as I mentioned, not everything sees the light, unfortunately. But it's okay. I enjoyed the process, and it was really good to see it. Take care, guys. Thanks for your attention. Early merge, and let's continue. Have a good one.